All right, everybody. All right, sit down. It's time we had a little bit of a talk. We are in a period. Is this working? I sure hope to God it's working. We are in a period of TV shows where everything is just way too short and episodes just keep flying by way too fast. And that's only the first problem with this season of Hazbin Hotel. Like, I can't even really begin to explain what my real problems are with this show. Not the show, the season 2. I liked season 1 just fine. I thought it was a good enough attempt at streamlining like Vivzy Pop's work into, a bigger budget TV show, I am truthfully though, I hate how most TV shows nowadays have to stick to that like 8 episode like time gap for some reason, because we just don't we're just apparently not in a time where TV shows just don't want to shell out that much money to create a few extra episodes to build up like tension or drama or literally anything. It's just like, let's get the plot points out there and that's all we need. Nothing more, nothing less. And that was one of my major issues while watching season 2 of Hazbin Hotel, is because everything just keeps happening. Like literally just like, it felt like I was watching a Mr. Beast episode. Like after like episode 4, I had to take a pause just to be like, okay, this is too much information to be taken in at one time. I need to take a break. So then I came back and I finished it and I was like, yeah, it was fine. But I started doing a bit of research and I realized, the fan base is really, really divided on this season of events. So let's get into it. So first of all, I feel like I should state a little bit my whole take on Vivzy Pop and like Hazbin Helva Boss as a whole, because like I just so happened to get into Helva Boss probably as soon as it really started to pop off. Around when like season 2 of Helva Boss started is when I became like a pretty big fan of it right away. And it still holds up pretty well to this day, I would say. My taste in it, I mean, and my whole feelings on Vivzy and Hazbin as a whole. Because technically, Hazbin Hotel is the real show, and Helva Boss is the spinoff. Can you believe the spinoff got a whole show before the mainline events do? I don't get it. But yeah, I love Helva Boss, the show on YouTube. Hazbin Hotel, I like it. I think it's a great attempt at bringing Vivzy Pop's work to a mainstream audience, but it's just like, I think the show could have a lot more room to grow. And I thought that would happen with season 2, but season 2 kind of went in an opposite direction where it just kind of keeps doing its own thing. I think all she really cares about is just that people are happy and everybody who hates it is just like, whatever to her, which I don't know Vivzy Pop a lot as a person, but I know she's constantly getting into drama left and right. It's usually pretty debatable whether it's even like worth it to get into that or not. I mean, shit, she's selling merchandise about how people hate her. That's kind of crazy. I'm gonna have to do some more research on Vivzy as a person or whatever after the video's done, but I just really wanted to make this because I'm like, they just keep going in the opposite direction. So yeah, onto the season itself. I've kind of been procrastinating for way too long. So what do I like about this new season of Hazbin Hotel? Well, I think the animation has improved vastly compared to the first season, and anything compared to what we've seen in even like Helva Boss to an extent. However, yeah, the pacing is definitely weighing down, like just looking at how good the show is, because that's the thing too. The show was like super bright and lively, not at all how biblical hell really is. But with how bright and colorful the show is, I just really wanted to lean back and just look at how cool it looked. But with how fast each episode goes by, it's just like, I had to do like a double take, because I was like, well, what the fuck, what just happened? Where are we? We went from the hotel to like some weird train tracks surrounded by it, because that's been there the whole time. And then like I don't know, we're in a fight scene with Alastor and Vox and then immediately gets cut off because Alastor just gave up, because Alastor is kind of a bitch in this show, if I'm being honest. But we'll get to that in a minute. The show looks amazing. I just think if they were given enough time, like just making the show and episodes just a little bit longer, like I think Hazbin Hotel can benefit from having each episode be like an hour long, because that's exactly what things like The Boys and Invincible tends to do. I was gonna say Reacher, but I never watched Reacher, but that's another one on my list. But yeah, that's my only real gripe when it comes to the production anyway. But I want to talk about some of the like actual characters and events that happen in the show. So yeah, if you haven't gathered, there's going to be spoilers, so be warned.
Do you ever shut up?
Don't you forget,
Here he goes.
you ain't one yet.
First things first, I want to talk about Alastor real quick. Alastor, I don't know what happened to this guy. He was like the biggest menace in Hazbin Hotel up until like the whole Adam debacle, where he completely proved everybody wrong. Which in a way, I kind of thought was going to be leaning towards the fact that maybe Alastor isn't as powerful as people imagine him to be, and it's just all a mind game. But it's like, no, he does have the power. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if he's just not good with having all that power, or hasn't quite mastered it, or because I don't think the leash argument is even like a conversation to be had at this point, because the leash didn't do shit to him. At least I see it that way. I could be wrong, but like speaking on purely like what I've seen in the show, Alastor being on a leash did not change how his powers worked whatsoever. He was granted this immense power, the most powerful sinner in hell, and yet he gets beat by a fucking undead shark. And also then comes the question, what even is that shark? Does it count as a sinner? Because clearly it's giving him a little bit of trouble.
Now, let me just make it clear real quick, because this video was filmed like off the cuff as soon as I finished season 2 of Hazbin. I don't think Alastor is like a true bitch or anything, or even on Fraud Watch. It's just, he was just put in these precarious situations that just do not put the best light on how strong he actually is, in my personal opinion. Like, I mean, the whole shark thing, that's like, honestly, that kind of felt more like a joke than anything else. And I mean, he did put hand to fist and clapped Vox's ass in the end. So it's like, he definitely still kicked ass. His strength was like tenfold what we saw him do before. So I mean, there definitely was some suppression limits on the deal that he had with the cannibal lady. Still don't know her name. So I mean, there was definitely a vast improvement in his power. It's just, it wasn't so easy to see, especially since the show itself was running at like 100 miles an hour.
Like, I mean, yeah, that's cool, I guess. You made a deal to get a bunch of power, but like, you don't even do anything with it, really. So it's like, I mean, he killed a bunch of overlords apparently, but is very questionable right now. He never uses a holy weapon when fighting the angels. He just uses his sheer aura and demonic power, which is cool, except that's just not how this world works, bro. Like, you're not killing that angel unless you yourself have some kind of angelic weapon, you know? Because that's the only real way it's gonna work. But he never once uses it. He runs away like a bitch every time he's like being overwhelmed. It's like, come on, bro. You had so much built up to your name. And it's like, then we find out what the real source of his power is. And now he's even more of a bitch. Because bro did not gain this power. He asked for it. He had to make a deal with the cannibal lady. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not really good at remembering names. I just remember a lot of the main characters' names and the villains, so I'm not really good with names, so I'm sorry. I'm just gonna call them by how I saw them. But yeah, he made a deal with the cannibal lady, and that's how he became the strongest mortal in all of hell. Really? Like, really, Alastor? Like, you're gonna really tell me that all this power that you accumulated was because of a deal you made? And then here's the funny part. If I remember correctly, at the end of the series, he makes another deal with her. after the whole leash thing was broken in the first place, he's right back on the leash. Like, what are you doing, bro? I don't get what his plan is anymore. Like, the whole thing was just about Alastor breaks his chain and he's finally like, his potential is all unleashed, you know? That's what it was all leading up to. But yeah, Alastor, I think, is a certified like fraudulent character. And so is Lucifer. But I'm gonna save him for a little bit later. Actually, no, let's talk about him right now. Lucifer is a certified bitch. He is somehow one of the stupidest characters in the show right now. And that's saying a lot, because he owns and runs the realm where all the stupidest and shittiest people exist. Okay, maybe he's not as dumb as like Val or something, but like, you get what I mean. Lucifer, man, I don't know what happened to all that man's aura, because like, it vanished the second Vox opened his mouth towards him. I swear to God. Because we were literally just told that Lucifer can't harm a sinner, right? He can't harm any sinners. He can't do anything, because that's just all part of being the ruler of hell, is because it's a punishment. And that, in that regard, that's a great idea for a punishment upon the devil himself. He cannot do anything to stop his fellow like demons and sinners. Like, he can't physically do anything. So he like hides himself away in his duck palace, I guess, because that's quirky. But obviously Lucifer proved a lot of us wrong after our first initial impression of him, thinking like he's just a dweeb, he's just a loser. But then in the final episode of season 1, he kicks ass. Like, he shows why he is the king of hell. And then like in season 2, it was revealed like, oh, I can't harm sinners. Okay, so I can't do anything to Vox, but like I can cut the power to all of his technology that's causing all this mayhem and destruction and like fucking with heaven and everything, which that's also going to be a conversation a little down the line. I don't know how Lucifer like didn't think to like, I don't know, show off his connections or anything, because again, Lord of Hell, even though yes, he can't actually like intervene with anything relating to hell, he can at least like contact some other sinner. Like, he can contact the 7 deadly sins and like the Goetia family. He can call them up and actually deal with Vox. But like, no, he tries to do it himself, gets embarrassed, and then just walks away and gets kidnapped too. Let's not forget that. He got fucking kidnapped. I don't know how you managed to kidnap the Lord of Hell, but that's apparently how you do it. Like, you could have, I think at this point of the series, Lucifer could have called somebody like Stolas to like come handle Vox, because it's like, I think wholeheartedly that Stolas can kick Vox's like TV flathead ass. Like, you know, I mean, that just makes sense to me. Like, if you can't do it yourself, why not just call somebody else to do it? Shit, why couldn't Charlie just fucking do anything? She could have easily just smited that guy. She doesn't have the curse, I don't think. I mean, I could be wrong. Fan rant, I do research, but it's like, I keep them as notes. But I really just wanted to talk about this, because I'm not here to get into the lore. I'm just here to talk about like what I just witnessed. So, which then leads me to my next complaint. Why are the angels so dumb? I have a real problem with the Seraphim. She is probably the worst leader for heaven, if I'm being honest. She, honest to God, might as well be an honorary devil in the world of Hazbin Hotel, because it's like, you, the head of heaven, slaughtered countless numbers of sinners, and probably more, but like, you're gonna come to the guy who's rallying a whole cult just to like take you guys down for everything that you did to them, and your response was a gift basket? Like, really? What kind of, who even jokes like that, you know? Like, even for a Hazbin Hotel, like Vivzy Pop work, who is actually like dumb enough to do that? Who actually, I don't know. Maybe it's because she let like a younger angel do some of that decision making, but why would a child be the one making these decisions? Oh my God. And also, not to mention, we don't get to see God yet in the show, but we get to see like God's right hand, I guess, the embodiment of God. To be honest, like I just kind of completely forgot about that part. But like I don't really think that deity or like whatever that thing was really contributed much to the whole plot altogether. So it's like, I don't know, I'm kind of choosing to ignore it. But then, okay, now we're getting to the real point of this video. Vox. Vox is probably the most divisive villain I have ever seen on places like Reddit, YouTube, all over the place. And I think it's a pretty simple answer on how to interpret Vox. He's a real piece of shit. And he does not deserve anybody's sympathy. But he is a true supervillain in my eyes. Because even though, yes, we all know Vox is wrong. Vox has no reason to want to do this other than clout. And to build a reputation as like the most powerful sinner and like most popular, trustworthy guy in all of hell. When it's like he's the complete opposite. But it's like he doesn't care what you think. He's just like, he wants to do his own thing. He wants everybody to bend at his knee. And he knows how to do it. He 100% knows how to do it. But because he's like so blinded by his own clout, he loses everything in the end and looks like a complete idiot. That's a great like villain storyline. Like that's a very like common thing with supervillains. It's like they get all up in their head thinking like they're the best or whatever, and then they fall because of like circumstances they did not want to foresee, essentially. Which that's not the part I have an issue with. What I have an issue with is how people responded to this guy. But let me slow it down for a second. Let me just take like a pause of sorts, because I'm about to be getting into some real fuck shit. So let's take a sip before we continue, shall we? Damn it, it's almost empty. Ooh, all right. Let's continue. So how the internet responded to Vox altogether is kind of fascinating to me, because on one hand, I think we're just completely ignoring like all the little details they've given about his character and how like blatantly like evil the dude is. But let's be clear real quick. I just want all of us to be aware. There are no good people in Hazbin Hotel. None. There is no like true pacifists in Hazbin Hotel, except for Charlie and the younger angel. I don't remember her name, but she's like a heaven carbon copy of a Charlie at this point. So, and then I guess you could say like some of the residents in the hotel are also like decently good guys. Like Husk is one of my favorite characters because he's just so real, and like he's real about his problems, and like he knows they're an issue, but he just eventually like lets himself get dragged into them again because it's like that's what he knows. It's like that's a good character. That's a great like flawed character. Same with Angel Dust. Angel Dust is a great character. He's not a good person though. Don't get it twisted. He is not at all a good person, but he is good enough to be considered for redemption. You know, that's not my place to judge. What I will judge though is how the real world reacted to our main villain. Vox, like everybody else, is evil. He is an evil bastard. That's why he's in hell. But what makes him so different from other characters like Val, he's so far up his own ass that it's just like he doesn't consider at all like the consequences to his actions aside from what it means to him, which I think makes him an honorary member or candidate for the Greed Ring, because that is probably the truest definition of like pride, greed, like all that good shit. And his origin really sends that point home, because that just proves he, this whole time, was fully aware of all his evil deeds and keeps doing them because it just benefits him. Now, the one part that kind of irks me the most about Vox's character is that some people actually believe him to be a sympathetic villain. But basically, what really set in stone, like how much Vox wanted to like prove himself, was when he was rejected by Alastor to work with him. Now, aside from proving the fact that, yeah, Alastor was a big piece of shit, what a revelation, that Vox is just like very petty. And he like manages to capture Alastor, and it was like, dude, I don't even care what you think anymore. I just want this to be over your head so that you know I never needed you. Which is like, it's both very flawed, but it's like, he doesn't care. Like, he's so high off his own sauce that it's just like, he doesn't care what you think. He just wants to keep doing it. But just because I say his writing is really good, however, when people start saying that being rejected by a man who is absolutely the most evil rat bastard in hell is sympathetic, I just question, like, are you okay? I mean, I know we've all probably been rejected by someone we admired in one way or another, whether it be like dating or trying to impress your boss or even just like trying to impress your partner. However, I don't think that is worth giving Vox any form of sympathy because he's been doing this shit before he was even dead. He was a murderer. He was like the guy who steals like people's jobs because he wanted to prove himself.
Not to mention the murders he had to commit to get the jobs he wanted.
Oh my god, and he just like wanted a cult following, quite literally. So it's just like, what do you mean like he's a sympathetic villain? I think he got exactly what he deserved. Now, Alastor saying that is still a dick move, but honestly, like, it's not the most surprising thing that Alastor has done. I just can't really wrap my head around the idea of people actually sympathizing for him.
It's kind of as if people are sympathizing for, like, the Joker or something. Like, it's just as questionable as that. Like, you can wear the Joker as if to, like, seem tough or whatever, but the moment you mention, like, he was justified in anything, I'm leaving the bar.
Wearing his face, or I don't know. I don't know. I'm not like I'm not a huge expert on that subject, so if you're somebody that finds him to be sympathetic, leave your reasoning in the comments, because like I can't really think why people would glue to that character in that way. Yeah, sure, he had one shitty thing happen to him, and that was being rejected by his idol. And that's all of a sudden like good enough explanation for why he's now like a symbol of like rejection, and now like it just makes total sense, and now I want to wear his face everywhere. But it's like, no, I don't really think that way. Vox's story is just your like typical, it's trying to teach you a lesson, is what it is. Vox's story is just another lesson about never forgetting where you came from, never forgetting like who got you there in that position, and to not blow smoke up your own ass. You know, you lost your whole empire. Well, I guess not your whole empire. There's still like Val and what was her name? Vivian? Like the little girl with the red hair and the social media? I don't really remember. I'm bad at remembering. I don't understand how Vox can be perceived in any way as a sympathetic villain. I think he's just your typical villain, if anything else. He's a schemer, he's a manipulator, and oh yeah, he's an abuser. He absolutely abuses Angel. It's just he doesn't really get the chance to do it so often. So when we finally see him do it in season 2, people just kind of brush that off. So let me ask the question then. Why do we hate Val so much? Well, it's obviously because he is a manipulative, like abusive asshole. And like, so there's a lot more you can dig into his character in that regard, but it's like, that's just the gist in my opinion. He's an abuser who manipulates his workers into doing his bidding, and that's all there really is to him. I would give him a little bit more, and like maybe say like some of his jokes do kind of land, but it's like, you can't even really like laugh at his jokes, because it's like, he's just not a like great character. He's just your like stereotypical like bad guy who just exists to be a bad guy. And I guess sometimes that's all you really need to move the plot forward. Because, like, I don't think anybody's really interested in learning of Val's origin, because it's simply that Val is doing this to Angel and is this, like, hindrance to all of our main characters on the plot. So it's just like, I don't think there's any redeemable qualities to Val. And I don't think there's any redeemable qualities to Vox either. Unless he finally, like, comes to terms with the fact that, like, he lost, like, pretty much everything because he didn't, like, listen to his coworkers or his friends, like managers and big bosses who just, like, don't really consider their coworkers or employees to be real people, is what you can take from that. I think any lesson to take from Vox is just to not be like him. You don't want to be like Vox. You don't want to, like, sympathize with a guy who has literally forced his way into success and lied and manipulated and murdered and abused his way into success. So, to refer back to what I said earlier, there are no good characters in Hazbin Hotel. Nobody in the show is purely, like, a good guy, aside from Charlie and the other Angel. But you can obviously tell as a viewer who you want to root for. Like, I was rooting for Husk, I was rooting for Angel Dust, I was rooting for Nifty. Like, bro, I don't know what her deal is, but she's just having a great time with some bugs. Like, you know, bugs are not the weirdest thing to be fascinated by. I give her a pass. I want to see her do better. I want to see her get redemption. I want to see what Nifty would do in heaven. But yeah, so I guess that's pretty much my whole thought on season 2. However, I do think Vox as a villain was very strong, and I think the narrative purpose behind his character works a lot for trying to teach a lesson about, like, corporate greed and pride and all that good jazz. But I don't know, maybe I could be wrong. I was expecting just a little bit more, and especially from Alastor. Alastor has not proven shit yet. Yes, he did manage to convince Vox to break his leash, like, by accident, but it's like, and then when he finally got his power back, it was nowhere near the level I was expecting it to be. And again, he almost got beat by a shark. Like, come on, bro. Come on. I mean, at least he's back at the hotel, right? Because he, like, quit at the beginning, but now he's, like, back. I don't know. It's just, that fucking season was a whole mess. And again, I don't like how TV shows nowadays have that 8-episode limit for each season. Because, like, yeah, back in the day, TV shows were at least, like, 20 episodes long. You name it. The Walking Dead, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, I don't know. But, like, the point is, if you're going to introduce a lot into your show, maybe you should spend a little more time actually investing time into a lot of these plot points and character moments, because it's like, you want to bond with these characters, right? You want to, like, get to know these villains and why they do what they do. I just wish we could have spent a little more time on that. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just a personal gripe, but it's like, I just wish TV shows were just so much longer so that I can, like, actually get invested in the series. But that may be a topic for a different day. I think that's all I really wanted to say about Hazbin. I hope season 3 is a little bit better than the last 2 seasons, though I'm not so hopeful because they already, like, purchased, like, 5 whole seasons of the show, which is just like, you know what, yeah, that's another thing too. Why are we pre-planning for shit that hasn't even happened yet? Like, the MCU to plan out, like, what they have going on, because you have a long list of comic books that you can base a story off of for a movie. So obviously either VivziePop has something big planned, not wanting to improve on the runtime or the pacing or anything, or I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much into that. With how the first 2 seasons are going so far, and the fact we're getting, like, 3 more after this, that's confirmed for sure. Who really knows? I hope for the best. I really do. I just want to see Alastor, like, actually kick some ass and not, like, get ragdolled every so often. Yeah. So I'm just going to end it here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you agreed with my takes, let me know in the comments. And, and also, I just realized this just before I started recording. This is the 69th video I am recording for YouTube. And it is so funny because it's literally about Hazbin Hotel, which is the most sexual show I've ever seen in my life, aside from like 50 Shades of Grey. But like, man, anyway, I'm gonna stop talking here. Thank you guys for watching. I have a lot of things planned for the future. Like, I have a tier list video planned. I have a video about the Avatar movies planned. I'm really excited for that one. So I have 2 projects actually for Avatar. And then I have a few other things down the road. Some like bigger projects planned, so I hope to get those done either within the year or sometime like later down the line. So, but thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, hit the like button, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts in the comments, because I can't be the only one that thinks this way. So anyway, yeah, peace.